Hey guys, welcome to the channel once again, and today I have another guitar that is a bit odd, a bit out there in terms of being an amalgamation of a bunch of different things, but still a design that is very recognizable. This is a Fred King Corona Custom that is a Trev Wilkinson design based, I think, on the Geoff Whitehorn signature Fred King that they had a while ago. So Trev Wilkinson, for those who don't know, currently is the guy behind the design a lot of bridges, tuners, pickups, hardware in general. You see a lot of cheaper guitars using Wilkinson hardware because it's reliable, it's well known to be quality, and usually it improves the sound and the tuning stability of the instruments where they are in. So what's the spec of this guitar? So let's start on the headstock. First and foremost, you have a gloss headstock with saying Fred King, and then on the back you can tell these are locking tuners and an oiled neck, which is a vintage, not a vintage, which is a premium feature that many guitar brands use when really wanting to showcase the wood and how good it feels. It's also a process that takes slightly longer than spraying, I believe, so it's only really in good guitars. Then it also has staggered tuners, meaning that the higher free strings are at a lower post than the lower free strings, meaning that the break angle is still pretty good along the headstock. We then have a 43mm Graphtec nut that, as you can see, has a little piece of paper, and this I don't know if it was from factory or if it was from the shop that I bought it from. The D string is cut too deep. If I had higher gauge strings, probably it wouldn't be as noticeable, but I'm playing 10s, which is a very standard gauge string, and it still is an issue. It has a rosewood board that, as you can see, is pretty significant, and it has this beautiful dark brown color. It's, according to the website, premium Indian rosewood. It has a 25.5-inch scale length. It has a bakelite pickguard, so not just any plastic, it has bakelite pickguards. It has a stacked P90, like I said, that can be split as well as the bridge on the second tone, and you can also add the neck pickup to position 1 and position 2, meaning that you will either have the free pickups or just bridge and neck in either split or not. It has everything. This is not the stock bridge. This would be an upgraded bridge or a different bridge, simply not even upgraded, because it was what I had lying around, and I prefer this more modern look to the more vintage bridge that it came with. It's also this beautiful candy apple red. It has an output jack here at the bottom with like the electro socket Telecaster cut. It is not as curvy with like the contour body that the Strat is known for. It's more square, it's a bit more super Stratish in that regard, but it has the sort of Tom Anderson drop top, arm carve and belly cut. On the back it doesn't have a neck plate, it has these 4 screws with ferrules around it. It has again back plate with bakelite, and I don't know if you're able to see, it has the staggered holes on the bridge to make it with better tuning stability or intonation or whatever they want to say. I have found that this guitar is the most versatile guitar that I have. It's really well thought out. This tone knob is for the bridge pickup because it's the closest one and it's the one that you use the most, and then this one is for the neck and middle. It has a nice weight and it's really comfortable to play in terms of the shape of the neck, but also how the body sits against you. I have taken this one out and I've taken 2 rehearsals and I've really enjoyed using it. If you were to walk into your local shop and they had this guitar and you played it and you realize that it sounds as good in split chords as in a single chord that you have played in the shop. That it has a bunch of different sounds, and it's the most versatile guitar that you could have, that you can do any gig, any rehearsal, any recording session with. It's way better than any Squier for a mile margin. I would say that's better than any Fender from the Mexican factory, but I haven't played them all. And now they also have the Vinteras, but the Vinteras are way more expensive than these because they also have rosewood fretboards. But having played a few different guitars, like even the Rev Stars, for example, the Yamaha Rev Stars, they have a poly satin neck that I don't think compares to this at all. This feels really nice. What don't I like about this guitar? Okay, let's stop drooling over it saying that's the best thing next to sliced bread. I think that they tried to do the rolled fretboard, and by doing so reduced the surface of where the strings sit on the frets, and it's very often the case that I feel it coming here and falling off. Same thing not so much at the top, but at the bottom I have to consciously play slightly different to other guitars because it slips outside of the fretboard very easily. There is some... There are some high frets around there that I can't quite figure out. When playing plugged in, it's not very noticeable, but unplugged, and in some cases you can tell that they're there. The finish on the side of the fretboard is flaking away, so I don't know if it's the oil or if they put some sort of finish on the sides of the fretboard, but it's creating bubbles and it's coming off. But other than that, I really think that this is a great value guitar that is not just good for the price, it's unique. There is no other guitar that I know of that has this configuration and this set of specs. If you were to like make it different, make a few different adjustments, make it like in UK and sell it for £2,000 as something unique, probably no one would still buy it, but I could perfectly see that happening. If you ever thought of having a guitar with a P90 in the neck, middle and bridge, I think this is the only one that you might find around. And these guitars, these Fred Kings, they come with a padded gig bag. This is really handy to put in the car with the guitar in, obviously, or to take to a gig or to do anything that you want. So, and that's built into the value. So, between, let's say, £650, if that was a fair price, you get an amazing guitar with loads of different features that plays really well, that sounds great, with a padded gig bag. I rest my case. What do I use it for? To play songs in E flat, but that's a story for another time. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.